What's going on, guys? Guys, I'm so excited for this episode. This is of the day. Arguably one of my favorite parts is recording the mastering backend engineering one. So I got this series up on the to-do list. A whole bunch of stuff needs to get done. I got it fired up here. We're about ready to go. So I'm super excited for today's episode. We're gonna dive into some loops. Alrighty, guys, so we're going to dive into some loops. I know it says comparison operators here. That is not what we're doing. We're going to the loops. Here we go. Let me move this off the screen. Okay. All right, guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying this. And alongside of this, I'm going to distill down a course for all the stuff that I'm learning here. So I'm going to distill it in a really palatable, write the scripts, do everything that's proper, just so it's, because these are kind of selfish. These are for me. The mastering backend engineering episodes, they're kind of for me. It's where I can come, and I know they're probably not going to be like my biggest videos at all, because they're these like long form but it's like the Code Chronicles series, like that's completely for me. It's something for me. But the smaller cut up tutorials that are really thought about or scripted, you guys will see. I have a ton of content. I got it all on my cow pal over here, my calendar of just a ton of content coming out for you guys. And some of it is really refined and distilled, and I wrote scripts for and things like that where it's like really making sure every second of y'all's time is thought about. But I'll be honest, the mastering backend engineering, it is still like, hey, I hope there's value for y'all. I hope there's still a lot of material to learn, and I'm trying to offload the concepts that I've learned in engineering while running through this stuff beyond just like learning the Python. It's or whatever thing we'll learn on this journey. It's also like how to approach things, how to approach learning. But it's also for me, it's like a really selfish thing of like, hey, I enjoy this so much, So let's dive in. Loops are a programmer's best friend. Loops allow us to do the same operation multiple times without having to write it explicitly each time. For example, let's pretend I want to print the numbers 0 through 9. I can do this. 10 print statements, or I could write a loop, say for I in range 0 to 10. And print I. Okay, cool. Seems straightforward to me. So assignment, complete the missing sections. Guys, I'm going to adjust y'all a little bit. So complete the missing sections. We want to print I. So for I in range, we'll say 0 and 100, right? Guys, we're off to a great start. Look at that. Let me adjust this little headphone wire. Alrighty. We got the first thing down. Sweet. Okay, loops practice. As a reminder, a for loop in Python is written like this. In English, the code says, start with I. Okay, boom. I thought we just did this, no? In the print numbers function, write a for loop that from scratch that goes, that logs the numbers 0 to 199. Okay, so for I in range 0 to 200 prints I, right? Sweet. Guys, we're cruising. We're cruising right along. Cruising. Loops practice. We're back at it again. Print numbers from 5 to such and such for a function that starts at 0 and edit the loop to start at 5. Okay, so we can adjust the range here by changing the starting point, and the finish point looks like it was passed in there. Okay, so why would you want to use a loop? To do the same thing over and over without having to write the same code. Sweet, sounds about right to me. First take Drake. Okay, why does the code on the left print 0 to 99 and not 0 to 1000? Okay, so because print I only happens while I is less than or equal to 1000. It happens because the 0th index is being printed. So let's see which one is roughly that. So because print I only happens while I is less than not equal to 1000, because print I, okay, we're gonna have to guess and check on this one, folks. First take Drake. Second take Drake. Okay, and the reason why is just the for loop. If you have 0 to 10, it's going to print the 0th element. So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so anyway, the white space in Python, the body of a for loop must be identified. Otherwise, you'll get a syntax error. Not only that, but every line in the body of the loop must be identified or indented in the same way. We use the for spaces convention. Pressing the tab key should automatically give you the for space. It is blank to indent. Well, we'll go with required here. Seems appropriate if they're talking about indentation. The range function we've been using in our for loop. Guys, we're almost a 13 wizard. Come on now. Come on. Let me get a little sip of coffee for that, you know? All right. We've been using in our for loops actually has an optional third parameter, the step. The step. Oh, okay. So you can count. Looks like this third parameter here. You could pass it, and that's what it'll count by. Sweet. That's cool. I had no idea. So fix the for loop in the countdown function. So here we have our countdown function, so that it prints from start. Wait a second. Function so that it prints the numbers counting down from start, but not including the end order. So what does it print now? Printing numbers from 10 until. So do we just inverse it? Is that what they want us to do? We'll try. No, that's not what they want. I figured it would want something with a step function, right? Something like that. Okay, cool. That is what they wanted. That would make sense why they're teaching us that. That's what they wanted. So some game. Remember that the increment and decrement operators can increment and decrement a variable by any amount. So here we go. So there's our increments and decrements. Fix the bug or the sum of numbers. Instead of adding 1 at each iteration, it should add I. So it looks like we just need to switch 1 here to I. Let's see. Nice. Passing the test. This is class. Sum game 2 assignment. Complete the sum of odd numbers function. It should calculate, it should calculate the sum of all the odd numbers starting and adding up to 1, but not including the given in number, and return the result. Tips. What number should you start with? Okay, so assignment. Complete the sum of odd numbers. It should calculate the sum of all odd numbers starting at 1. So we could do, I believe, start at 1. And then if we count, I think by 2, what would that do? Inputs. Sweet, guys, look at that. So we start at 1, count by 2, so then 1, 3, 5, right? But I'm seeing different inputs here, so I'm not sure. But it worked. It worked. Rocket launch. A team of scientists is getting ready to launch the rockets. We're at Tesla or SpaceX, and they've been working on them. You've been asked to write a program that will count down to the rocket's launch. Okay, so challenge. In a countdown to blast off function, write a loop that counts from 10 to 1. Each iteration, it should print num, num, this, num. However, when num is 1, it should print blast off. Sweet. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we need to, for I in range, we'll say start, end, right? We need to print, well, we could do if I equals 1, print, blast off. Okay, so that's roughly, I believe, partially it, right? And then else, I think we need to do print num ... plus I, right? Something like that. But we need to define start and end. So where does this come from? Or, okay, we could just do 10 to 1. Okay, so we could say 0, 10, and then do -1 like that, I believe. Counting down to blast off. Will it work? Will it work? Does it blend? Does it blend? Okay, let's see. Because I'm not seeing nada enchilada here. I'm not seeing nada enchilada. Just real quick, get it running. Integer is not a string. For I in range 0 to . Oh, you know what? We might need to pull off our handy dandy F string here. Let's see what we got. Boom, num. Okay, sweet. I think we're onto the right track here. So, but we need to count down from 10. So we go 10 and 0 as the start and end. What do we got? Sweet. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when, so that'll work for that. But we need to write an if. So if I equals 1, print, we want to do the same thing, but we want to do their statement print nut dot blast off. Okay, let's try. Looks like and maybe I can return here. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So the return breaks the thing, right? So what was going on here is it was running through each one of the iterations. So the important thing in the thread of what I know about JavaScript and TypeScript and maybe like Rust. But so you have your thread, right? And it's going to keep going through the I loop here. So it'll keep running through this, all the code lines. It'll go, okay, do this for I in range, run through this line, go boom, 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 and keep printing the number, keep printing the number. And then even if our if statement, we could say if I equals this, do this really quick. but it'll also do the next line too, unless we tell it to not do. So we have to do either a return statement. I think there's also breaks if we do a switch case, I believe. But I think a break does something different. And then we can also do even an else statement. So we can say, if that, else do this, right? And that would also, I think, suffice. So there's multiple ways to cut the cake here. I'm just going to go with the return statement. We could, I think, even do it like this if we wanted. Actually, I don't know if you could return a print function. Oh, I guess you can. Okay. Looks like we're learning every day, folks. Thought that's what they wanted, though. Looks like we're breaking something. Okay, let's try return. Let's try. We could do the if else, I suppose. Now it's not liking all of our stuff for whatever reason. Okay, let's try that. So what does it want? I thought that's what it wanted. So write a loop that counts down from 10 to 1. Okay. At each iteration, it should print num. Maybe it doesn't want the num. It just wants this. And let's try this. At each iteration, it should print num ... where num is replaced. Oh, I see. With the current number. Golly, it's a reading thing, folks. It's a reading thing. It's an education thing. You know what I mean? It's an education thing. All right. That was user directions were right in front of us the whole time. Right in front of us the whole freaking time. And we're level 13. We're 13 now. Come on. All right. Oh, we're kind of at the tail end here. Well, that went by pretty quick. Squaring numbers. John is finishing some math homework and needs to calculate the square of some numbers. However, he's getting tired of entering each of them into the calculator individually. The square of a number is just the number multiplied by itself. Okay, so number times number, where num is the number squared. Okay, here's the challenge. In the calculate squares function, write a loop that calculates and prints the squares of the numbers from the start parameter up to the given end parameter. So if I'm understanding correctly, when you go for I in range, start end, and it's going to index by 1. And we need to say num equals start times start, I believe. Right? Is that what it wants? So let's print. Let's see what we got. Print num, calculating from 100 until 105. So, oh, you know what? It needs to be I times I. Or is it one of these deals? Let's see. Oh, that's big. That's big. It's not what we want. Okay. So I times I. So 11 times 11, that is 121. 12 times 12 is 144. Okay. So let's see what we're doing. Where num is the number square. For example, the first iteration calculate this should be, note the end is exclusive and should not be printed. Okay. Cool. So what do we need to return? Do I just return num, or in the calculate squares function, write a loop that calculates and prints the squares of the numbers from the start parameter up to the given end parameter? So we're doing that, I believe. Squared number. Okay. Use the following. Oh, use the following format where num is the print, where num is the number, and squares is square. For example. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's what it wants. It wants us to say f string will say I. So that's the number. Say I squared equals the squared number, right? I think that's what it wants. 11 squared equals 121. Yeah, that's right. Sweet. Woohoo. We're doing it, folks. We're doing the deal. Woo. Experience points. You've been hired by a game studio to work on their latest role-playing game. In this game, adventurers need experience points. They need XP to level up and become stronger. You and me both, my brother. You and me both. You've been tasked with creating a function to calculate the total amount of XP needed for a player to reach a specific level. Each character starts with 0 XP at level 1. To reach the next level, they need 5 XP, more than the last level required, so I plus 5. So reaching the level 2 requires 5, so 10 XP. And so on and so forth. Well, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I plus 5, right? I plus 5, something like that. Complete the calculate experience function points. Or is it linear? Is that what they're saying? So level 2 needs this. All right, we'll mess around with it. We'll figure it out. For I in range, 0 to level. 0 to level. Return, we'll say XP required equals I times level. So, well, hold on. Let's print I real quick because I think I starts at 0. right? Yeah, I starts at 0. So we have to, what's it called? We have to say I plus 5. So you're always going to do 5 first, right? Or is it literally just I times 5? Is that all they want? That'd be sweet. That would be sweet, sweet, sweet. So my understanding was it needs the previous calculated experience points. Oh, I see. So it needs all of these levels, right? So it's not just 3 times 4. It's also 2 times 5 and 1 times 5 and 0 times 5. That makes sense. Okay, so to get to level 3, you need 2 times 5, which is 10 plus 1 times 5, right? Level 2. Hold on. Let's think about it. So we need the I plus. So we kind of need this, right? So XP per level, right? Let's see if we can do this, right? Is I times 5, and then we need XP per level to be equaled to the level, I think. Let's see. See what we got. I think we're okay, so 0 times 5 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. So we're just incrementing by I, and then we're reducing all of that. So we have that. We have I times 5, right? Oh, you know what? Might just be that simple. No, but that is what we're doing though, right? Is XP per level is basically saying XP times. How do you reduce in a for loop is the question. How do you do that? Guys, I feel like this is much simpler than I've made it out to be. So requires just 5 XP more. So XP per level is I times 5, and we need the previous level and the level behind that. So do I need a J loop for J in range 0 to I? Is what I'm possibly saying? Let's see. So print J maybe. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that might do it, right? So we got 0. Okay, so let's print this XP level and see what we got times J, right? Maybe? No. Oh, it's a wildly different answer. Okay, so XP per level is I times 5, and then we need the previous levels. So how do we get the previous levels? Here's 0 to I minus 1, right? So maybe we start at I and go to 0, and then we say prev level equals, I think prev level is just J at this point. So I'm trying to figure it out. So we need the previous level. So we have the first level, which is XP per level. So first level, if the input is 2, we need that. Let's try one last time. Expecting 5, it got actual. All right, guys, we're gonna call on the big guns. We're gonna call on the big guns. Why is it? All right, folks, we're taking this to the old chat. What am I missing here? What am I missing? So we need to reduce basically the function. So when we run through I times 5, we need all the previous levels as well. So maybe before totally throw in the towel. Actually, no, we'll just. So it's because we need the prev level. So if I is 2, let's say, so it's 2 times 5, which is 10. So we'll say level equals 2. So you need prev level, you need 5 and the current level required. So you need prev level, which is 0 plus 5 plus the 10. So if I did this as new level, right, we would actually need all of these numbers added. So how do we get the previous level and the new level? So the new level is that is our new level, but how do we calculate for the previous levels? And that's where I think we need a J loop. Wow. So this is what that chat has for us, which is massively overcomplicated, but it worked. Golly. Okay, so let's do it the other way though, that I was starting to come down. So n-1. Golly, folks, I feel like this is if level's greater than 1, new level, since the first level doesn't require XP, would calculate for level minus 1. So total XP equals 0. How does he get this? That's what I want to know. This has got to be a formula. But let's try this way. Let's try a little bit this way. So we'll steal a little bit from chat. We'll say if level greater than 1. So we'll say if level, let's do the inverse. If level is less than 1, just return, because we know it's obviously not what we're working with, right? But I feel like there's no way it needs to be that complicated. I feel like this is just a J loop within a for loop. So let's play it out one more time. So if we have level 4, we need 4 times 5, which would be 20. And the previous level, we would need 3 times 5, right? Which is 15. And we would need the previous level before that as well, 2 times 5, which is 10, and 1 times 5, which is 5, which would equal, what is that? 25, 5. Oh, you know what? So we don't need new level. That's actually completely irrelevant. You need the previous levels always, it looks like. So if I want to be level, sorry guys, I'm trying to break this down. There's no way they would throw it as that. There's absolutely no way it would be this. There's no way. I understand that's one solution, but there's no way. Okay, so let's think about it. So level 4 means I need to. So level 4 requirements. How do we calculate this? So if I'm level 4, I need level 3, level 2, and level 1, and even I guess level 0 technically. But so I need to do the plus. Say XP required, right? Is I times. Is it just what we could do? Is I think store an array. We could do an array and then stash them all in the array and then reduce it. I think would work. So we could store the memory of these things. But array push XP required, right? And then if we print the array, let's see what's in there. Array push. How do you array push in Python? Guys, this is something else. This is something else. There is no way it's this much work though. There's no freaking way. There's got to be an easy peasy thing I'm just completely overlooking, right? So let's play it out again real quick. So let's say print level XP required, and then we'll say I for the level. So this is going to be XP on the left, I on the right. So if I'm level 1, I require 1. It looks like. Or 5 XP. If I'm level 2, I need 15 XP. So first of all, I think this needs to be +1, right? So the level needs to go up. So if I want level 1, I'm technically 0. So level 2, I need 5. So now we're getting into the details, folks. The devil's in the details. And if I want to get to level 2, I need 5 XP because I'm adding 5 plus 0. If I want to get to level 3, I need 10 plus 5, which would get us 15. Okay, cool. And if I want to get to level 4, I need all those numbers added. Perfect. So now we're adjusted proper. So XP required, or technically this would be XP per level still, and the XP required would be the previous levels, right? So plus equals XP per level, I think, and that, my folks, might be it. Let's see. XP required. So I can't make XP required? What do you mean? XP required. Oh, because I'm not adding anything. So XP per level plus XP per level. Let's see. No, that's just 10. Where's the solutions? There's got to be. Oh, I see. There is a solution this whole time. But we're not going to throw in the towel quite yet. We're gonna give it the old college try. So XP per level is this. So how do we get the previous level? Is the question mark. Previous levels. What we really need to do is decrement. Let's see what tips it has for us. So the tips XP is +1 less than the current level multiplied by 5. So the formula, the XP needed for all previous levels +1 less than the current level. So we've roughly figured that one, right? We've roughly got that one understood, right? So XP per level is that +1 less than the current level multiplied by 5. So that's the biggest thing, I guess, is we need I +1. We need the prev levels total XP. How do we do this? How do we get the previous levels without doing another loop? All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. I knew it was something so simple, and here it is. Here it is, folks. Here it is. But I swear we tried that before. The very first time was this, and it didn't like that. XP per level. Yeah. So why didn't it like that? Oh, I see. Do we have to instantiate this as XP per level equals 0? Is that why? User error, guys. User error. We're learning more. Failing in front of y'all. That's a humbling deal. That's a humbling deal. But I knew it wasn't this ChatGPT solution, which is crazy that it does have one this robust. But yeah, so that's good. We mucked around. There's multiple ways to cut the pie. Do I have to instantiate it or no? Oh, looks like I do. Okay, cool. Well, the good news is wrestling with this stuff is making me learn. That's how I learn so fast is being dumb is what I call it. Like literally asking the foolish questions, like exploring weird things, and basically my brain is like feeling an object in the dark is like what it's kind of doing is because in transparency, I don't know Python and the granularities of it. So I'm learning, right? But I've known this with every kind of technology or things I learned, whether it's even like music, things unrelated to tech even, but certainly in tech, I will machine gun from the hip. Oh, like let me keep feeling out what this thing is and what the problem is. And the reason why I do that is because it's constant iterations, it's constant reiterations and touch and like touching what's wrong, figuring out what's right, figuring out progress, da 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 da. So we're gonna do that a bunch, and I recommend that of just like figure out because even when we use ChatGPT and stuff, now I'm like figuring out weird formulas. This is a crazy formula that would still get the job done, right? So now my brain somewhere deep down knows that there's like definitely multiple ways to solve, something as simple as this, but I don't know that formula per se. So because it looks like an arithmetic sequence formula. So but it's stuff like that where because of that process of like feeling out, something that's right or wrong, you kind of learn the whole time. That you know what I mean? You're kind of learning the whole time, and I'm telling you that process alone of just like wrestling with something instead of being like, well, let's just move on to the next, let's just get the solution, let's just you see me break stuff and be like, oh, let's take out the XP, let's see if this works. Oh, that's why it doesn't work, I need to instantiate it. It's just doing that where you like really try to feel out the minefield and touch every mine with a broomstick basically is like really, really powerful. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps somebody, or at least can show you even, and I don't want to sit here and say like, oh, at this high level of engineering, because I'm still learning a ton, but I know a lot of people are afraid to like look stupid, or even me, it's not fun to look stupid, but the whole process is like, you just gotta like feel the thing out in the dark, and then by the time you figure it out, you figured out, oh, well, this is everything about it. So the next time I visit this, I got it in my brain somewhere. It's like, oh no, okay, I remembered why that didn't work. I remembered this chunk of why it worked and why it didn't here, and this, that, the other. So because when you solve these larger, and we're definitely gonna see it when we get to the bigger algorithms and data structures, we're going to do this process, but with tiny bits of it. So merge sort is going to be huge, but we need to break it down to these tiny bits and make the tiny bits work. And then you need tiny bits that all work in conjunction with each other. But the only way to get there is like literally, feeling it out and see what breaks and what works. So we saw that live, which was fun to see, but I will see you guys on the next one. I literally look forward to this every single day. So tomorrow we will be learning lists and dictionaries within Python. Super, super fun.